This is your one and only Firespark81 with your daily dose of video goodness. We are back with another exciting episode of Building Vertical, and today I'm going to show you how to build upon last week's design to create an awesome all-in-one dinosaur storage PvP fort. So first of all, here's last week's design, the bottom half of it. Then I have installed a ramp and a platform that leads up to the second level, and this could easily be your storage slash living quarters area. And then we have another ramp up to the third level, which is a greenhouse area. And I know that this wall here is not as sturdy as the metal walls, so that's why we've installed this little roof access door type thing here. So, and then we have it sealed off slightly differently upstairs than what we normally do with the crimping. This is a wall design which does pretty much the same thing, but I didn't feel the need to go super fortified because these are relatively easy to break through. And then also we've installed doors all the way around, so you have that awesome 360 degree view and you can see wherever people are coming at you from. We can close these off once you know where they're coming from, and then we have doors that have a shield on the side so that they have to, basically whoever's attacking you has to be coming straight at you in order to shoot you. You can peek around the corners and all that good stuff. Okay, let's get to the build. So this is the structure that we built last week. First thing we're going to do is start off with the ramp. You can put this anywhere you want, just find a spot. Your ceiling pieces will snap right to the side. You can bring them all the way across like so. And then we'll throw down some ramp. And now what you want to do is you have your piece here that lines up. You want to find the pieces that line up with this section here. See this section of wall right here? You're going to delete the pieces that line up with it. And you should be able to safely remove any pieces of the previous build without any issues. Nothing major should collapse or anything like that. Just don't remove these inner pieces here because you'll lose your crimping in the center, because that's what they're attached to. Anything else though, you should be fine to remove. So there we go. Now we have our ramp up, and this ramp, if we were to remove this part of the ceiling here as well, is plenty big enough that you can actually bring dinos up here into the other quarters to unload storage or what have you. Okay, now we're going to start building the walls on the top part. And for that, we're going to be using a crap load of doors and door frames. What you're going to do is just go through here and place them too high. And then when you get to these pieces here that are like, remember how last week we talked about how it's kind of like a saw blade? So these would be the teeth of the saw blade. When you get to these pieces, you're going to use regular wall and you're going to place it like this. Now what this is going to do is this is going to create that little alcove, and when you're all finished, if you take a look at it from a distance over here, it kind of looks like vents coming off the side, giant air vents or what have you. So that's what that's going to create there. So you want to place straight across till you get to one of those sawtooth pieces, and then you place regular ceiling or regular wall behind it, and then you'll continue with your door frames. Like so. That'll place straight on there. And then once again, Just like that, you'll snap the wall behind it and then continue on. And you're just going to repeat this all the way around the entire structure. Once you get to the gate section, you shouldn't have any issues. If you placed it and you built it exactly how I told you to last time, the doors should place just fine because they will snap to the ceiling part and not the gate. And you should be able to build straight across. Okay, now that all that is done, you do not need to place doors here if you don't want to. I just want to let everybody know you can do this exact same thing by just using the straight up walls. You don't have to use doors. Doors are only if you want the 360-degree view to see if anybody is attacking you or where they would be attacking you at. But if you wanted to, you could just as easily just put normal walls. Also, I told you that you could delete everything on both sides. You need to leave ceiling here for your doors to snap to, as you saw me correct there in that one spot at the end. When you're deleting stuff, the part of the ceiling here, what you want to do is find the spot, just like I told you the last time. Skip the first one and delete the next two. And this should still be big enough to get dinosaurs up. If you delete these parts here, should be fine. Make sure you leave your ceiling pieces here so that you can snap your walls to them above. And I just put a little bit of wall here just to kind of block that off. You don't need to do that. You could leave that open if you want. I think it looks better though if you have it ramped up like that. Sorry about that. I did this build in a hurry last night and kind of forgot that part. Okay, so next part that we're going to do is we're going to go through and fill in all of these doors. And there we go. We have it completely sealed in. All the doors are set. You can open them and look out, jump out wherever you need to, what have you. Okay, now we need to do the ceiling, and we're going to do this ceiling exactly as we did the bottom ceiling, with the exception you don't need to go all pillar happy because the foundation support is there. Don't ask me why and how it works. You know, Arc just does Arc's thing. So here we go. We're just going to place ceiling. Let me swap these to a closer finger. So we're going to do it just like we did last time, and also just like last time, I find it easier to do it on top instead of below. So what you're going to do is just line these up with the edges like that, go straight around. Then once you've gone all the way around like that and you have the rim, you're going to take the pieces here that you see like this and you're going to line the ceiling up with them, and that is going to create the air vent like shapes that you see on our build over there. And all of these should snap right into place. Okay, once we have all of that done, the next thing is to go in and we're just gonna fill in like this. You're gonna go in straight, find the middle piece of this one, go in straight, and do that all the way around. This will ensure that your build is nice and symmetrical and you don't have just mix-matched ceiling tiles just placed all over the top. Okay, now you can see we have the same design. We're basically doing the same pattern that we did last time. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go in here and we're going to fill in all of these pieces, get them facing the correct way, like so. And like I said, this, you can just mix match them. I don't advise it. Following this pattern will make sure that everything is facing the exact same way, and it will be much easier to build on top of once you're all done. Because the snap points, if you just fill these in however, your snap points are going to be crazy and it's going to be a complete and total pain in the ass to build on. Okay, and then you're going to be left with these pieces. And we're going to do the same thing that we did the last time once again. If you go through, all of these will snap into place. Not like that. And then you have your little holes there, and you can fill those in just like so. Alright, and we got that completely finished. Now we're going to do the ramp crimping technique like we did in the previous videos, and that will seal off this whole section and make sure it's nice and fortified. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through, and just like we did the last time, you can see that we have our straight pieces like that across, and then we will tuck in a piece behind it, build the next one, tuck in a piece behind it, and so on. And then when we get to our last piece, you're going to want to delete this piece right here, place your last piece, and then place that piece over top of it, just like that, and we are completely crimped in. And it is sealed off beautifully. Now we need our ramp to the next level. You can either continue from your ramp here, but I like to put it at a different spot. So I'm just going to knock out this piece right here. Put in our ramp like so. Now you need a piece in the center-ish because you want to be able to build your box around it. So you either need to pick like right here or right here. I like it on the outer edge because we're gonna run our wall around here, so it will just continue with our wall that we run around the outer edge. Place the ceiling piece, and then we're gonna place a door. And now we have our roof access. Now you can do anything with this next part that you want. You don't have to build it with the greenhouse like we did over there, but I really like the way that the greenhouse looks around the top. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to build with. You can replace that with whatever you want to use. It will work the exact same. Okay, so now that we have this, all we're going to do is grab our greenhouse walls. And your greenhouse walls should follow a path right around like this. If you notice, they should fall right into place, and you should have a slight tiny bit of overlap on the corners like you see there, but you shouldn't have to do anything fancy. You should be able to, if you follow the patterns that I told you to follow, you should be able to just place them right around just like this. And then we come back around and we meet up with our little alcove here. Now this is the reason that I like the alcove here, because if you place it over here, then you're gonna have a gap on this side. I think it just looks better with it where it is now, but that's you know, builder's choice. And then these once again will do the exact same thing that we did before. You're just going to go through and build your outer rim. The only exception this time is these should fall into place a little bit better when you're building your outer rim. We're not going to have our saw blade teeth like we had in the previous tiers, because we came in one ring. So there we go, we have our outer edge, and then I'm just gonna follow through with that and continue to go around. So once you've completed the second ring, it should look like this. You should have these little gaps. Should be 1, 2, and then a gap, 1, 2, and then a gap. Now we're going to go through and complete the final inner ring. And you're just going to want to pick a place and start, and all the pieces should snap just fine to each other. You should not be left with any gaps. And there we have it. We're completely filled in except for our little gaps here. And our ring comes around and all of the pieces are correct. So now we're just going to fill in those little gaps the same way that we filled in all of our other ceiling levels. Alright, now that we have those filled in, it's time to go place our inside walls. Now, you could do the same technique that we did here, but I wanted to give this a different look, so that's why I chose to go with the walls instead. What you're going to do is you're just going to follow the pattern of your ramps below using the walls. And then once you're all done, you should have this cool looking fan look in the middle, and you'll be sealed off. Now, if you use the metal walls out here for this last tier, you're going to be extremely fortified. You have a small gap if you go in up above that falls down, and it will actually get people caught, and you can get stuck in this section here. Like I said, it's a builder's choice type thing. Whether you do the greenhouse or metal, it'll work the same way with whichever pieces you decide to use. And the same goes with this design that we have here to seal off the centerpiece. You can either use the crimping technique that we did on the other levels, or you can use this technique, whichever you choose to do. Well, I think that's gonna call it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Leave a comment down below with links of your builds as well. I'd love to see them. If you didn't like the video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think I can do better. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.